This podcast is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Jamie, well, I want to start with DJ Wagner this weekend, who's got a visit in Fayetteville. Appreciate you joining us. I think there's pretty strong indications that he's going to wind up as an Arkansas Razorback. What are your thoughts on Arkansas getting their 8th scholarship player to sign and commit after this weekend?
Absolutely. First off, want to thank you for having me on. Wagner, goes back with Calipari, goes back with Kenny Payne, family and all that type of stuff. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's foregone, but once he entered the transfer portal, there was a lot of thought that Arkansas would ultimately be the landing spot. He was an all-SEC freshman last year under Calipari, averaged almost 10 points, 3.5 assists, close to. There's just a lot of direction, a lot of signs pointing toward Arkansas with Wagner.
And Jamie, Tyler Ulis, again, the name I just mentioned, reportedly sounds like he's going to be on Arkansas' staff, was an outstanding point guard, first-team All-American. What kind of attributes do you think he's going to bring to this Arkansas basketball team? And he was with DJ last season, so maybe that helps in this recruiting process as well.
Well, Ulis, he's young, he's an energetic coach, and he's not that far away from his playing career. Obviously a draft pick, some time with the Bulls. Kids know who Tyler Ulis is. He's able to get in there. He was an overachiever as a player. He's able to get out there on the floor, be with the kids, play with the players, and relate to them. You know, he's kind of able to bridge that gap between the coaching staff and the players, and be there and form relationships and relate to the things that they're going through throughout the process.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about staff sizes and how it seems like the benches in college basketball have bloated. There is a director and a support position for seemingly everything. What will the bench look like, and what do the support roles look like in a John Calipari, administration, if you will?
Well, you obviously have the coaches on the court that go out recruiting. You have player development. You have video and analysts. You also have NIL-type general managers, the people that overlook the entirety of the process from the recruiting base toward the NIL, forge relationships with the collectives, and go out to the community and do all that. So there's a role for everything. So not necessarily it just falls under one person's lap, but you have the people that break down the film. You have the people that implement the game plan. You have the on-court staff. You have the recruiters. You have the people who oversee it all as the general manager, the collective, as well as the recruiting process. So it's almost a corporation style, with one person being the head of the snake, and then you have each person with their own linear type of jobs. Kind
of their vertical, yeah. So when you look at kind of what has unfolded so far to this point at Arkansas, you see the roster, the way it's setting up. What do you think as you kind of look at this from afar? What do you think the next move is here, other than maybe Wagner announcing he's coming to Arkansas, or the next player? What are you expecting to see out of John Calipari next as he brings it more into focus with how he'll move forward at Arkansas?
Well, I think one thing it's obvious that they're looking for possibly is some shooting. So a couple of the names that they're looking at: Wooga Poplar, Chaz Lanier, some wing guys who can knock down some shots on the perimeter. You have good rim protection. Jonas Adu, Big Z coming in. So you got some bigs. You got some defensive presence with Adu Thoreau, who's familiar. You have a paint-touch guard possibly with DJ Wagner coming in. So it's kind of filling out the fulfill of the roster. Experienced guys that have toughness. You have the three-man rookie freshman class, Boogie, Billy Richmond, Carter Knox. So there's, for the foreseeable future, I think rounding out what they have currently with a little bit of shooting, maybe looking at a guy like a Kason Pryor as well with versatility in the front court to kind of continue to piece together a roster that's going to compete in the SEC next year.
We're talking with Jamie Shaw, covers recruiting for On3 Sports, also the NBA draft and the transfer portal. You referred to some of those freshmen. According to y'all's business, you guys have Arkansas as the second-best class in the country, Jamie. Of those 3 freshmen, who do you think is most likely to factor in with playing time this upcoming season?
Well, as you look at how the roster is developing, it looks like Boogie Fland might have an inside track. He's a guard who's comfortable playing on the ball or off the ball. Listed about 6'3", he can really shoot it. But he's also got some connecting capabilities, ability to pass the ball, put the ball in the right spot. He's got an it factor about him and all that. So I would say with how the roster looks currently, Boogie Flan's got a chance if he's able to come in, get up to the speed of the game, make some shots like he has in the past. He's the number one point guard in the class for us right now currently. But I think there's some possibility for playing time should he come in and things go as planned.
You mentioned Jonas Adu. You also got John L. Davis from FAU. Of those two guys, both highly coveted transfers, one's played in the SEC, one's a little smaller ball. Who do you think is going to have a more productive and more important role for the team this year?
I mean, I think that's a great 1-2 punch. Any day you look at the guys, the teams, the construct of the teams that made it far in the tournament, they had a big, look at Purdue with Zach Edey, you look at UConn with Donovan Clingan, and they also had guards who could make things happen. John L. Davis, the AAC Player of the Year last year, he's able to run an offense through him. He's able to start plays and finish plays, whether it be passing, shooting, scoring. And then you have the anchor on the block with Adu, who's third in the block shots last year, able to protect the rim, which allows John Calipari's system, the pressure defense, to kind of run. But he also showed that he can score on the block, 11.2 points on over 50% from the field. He's also got a little bit of touch out there as well that he wasn't able to show at Kentucky, or Tennessee, sorry. That's a great 1-2 start. I think they're both equally as important for what they want to be able to do playing inside out.
We mentioned DJ Wagner coming into town this week, and also Darius Acuff, who's a top 5 player this upcoming class. What can you tell us about his interest in Cal that seems to be really high for maybe a building block next year?
Well, you look at it, he visited Cal at Kentucky. He's one of the first high school visitors. He's coming in at Arkansas. There's very real interest there. He's also this is his 4th official visit. Kentucky was one of them with Cal. He's also gone to Michigan with the old staff, and then Kansas a few weeks ago also. He speaks very highly of Calipari. He speaks very highly of the guards Calipari has produced, and he speaks very highly of the player development and what Calipari's done with players, high-caliber players like him in the past. I think Arkansas is very real in there, and this could be a big visit this weekend.
Jamie, last thing before we let you go, we mentioned a couple guys already that have come over, Adu Thiero. You've also got Big Z, DJ Wagner possibly after this weekend. What about Ugana Onyenso? Is that a guy that would still consider following Cal? It sounded like he was initially just interested in the NBA. Now he's in the portal. Is there aspirations for him to land in Fayetteville?
Never say never when it comes to John Calipari and recruiting. I think he's got his focus right now definitely on the NBA draft. He just got invited to the G League portion of it, and we'll see how it goes. That goes this weekend. We'll see how that goes from there. The schools that I'm actually hearing a lot for him right now, Alabama, Oklahoma, Louisville, are kind of 3 of them. I know that Alabama was kind of in the lead. They just took Big Cliff from Rutgers. Kinds of things opened up a little bit. So never say never when it comes to Calipari, but those are the 3 schools that I'm hearing the most for Onyenso right now.
Jamie, we'll leave it there. Again, Jamie Shaw, On3 recruiting analyst, kind enough to join us this morning. Jamie, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see what happens in the coming weeks with John Calipari and this basketball team.
Guys, thank you so much.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.